exclusive. Hell of a thing. Storage unit worker harasses a black customer, according to the Post. Jeffrey Jordan sent this to us. I'm going to start with the first video, and yeah, it's going to get even wilder. Here it is.
But this is how things connected, and we saw the camera, so that's why we were trying to figure out what was going on in that situation. But I know that I believe he left a review, or I don't know what you did. You did something, you did an escalation. That kind of connect those two together, because when I told this guy that was here in the facility, I was like, hey, you're not allowed to be here if no one's in the facility. He got triggered, he got mad, and he walked away. He was like, oh, you don't know who you're messing with? Not saying it to you. You don't know who you're messing with. I'm gonna make sure your job is depleted. And I said, sir, it's okay. We have cameras here anyway, so don't worry. I know it's my fault that I left that open, but future reference, you're not belong. So he got triggered, he left, he stormed off. When I came here to grab my keys, I walked to the back to look for the individual who, I don't know where he went at, and I ended up seeing him, and I kindly asked him, I was like, hey, do you have a unit number? He ignored me, he looked at me sideways, he just was on his phone, and my coworker confirmed that she rented a unit for him. So I said, oh, I'm sorry, and I kept walking.
All right, so this is just the beginning. Now, Mr. Jordan from Florida, wrote into Indisputable, documenting his recent experience at a storage facility where he is, in fact, a paying customer. However, a misunderstanding took place. He had nothing to do with the misunderstanding, which, by the way, becomes an admission in just a moment. But he's not concerned about the misunderstanding. He's a very gracious guy. He just wants the misunderstanding to be understood. In other words, correct the error that you have created against me. Now, Jordan says, quote, I rented a storage unit online 5/22/23, and I met with an employee to finalize my paperwork. He says he was questioned and told he did not have a unit, and now he shares his side of what happened. Here it is.
No, and I left a Google review. There was no escalation. And Lisa Mary, you know, when I came in here, I didn't say one word to you. When I walked in, the first thing you did, you walked past me and you said, what's your unit number? Not, hi, my name is this, not, I didn't know who you were. You were out in uniform.
No, I said, hey, do you know your unit number?
And while I was looking for it, you said you don't have a unit number.
No, I never said that. My coworker was there. That's why we was kind of confused as to what happened.
Okay, so let's take that part out. So I'm going to confirm that I didn't say one word to you, but yet when I came in here on the 24th, I spoke with Mace and Maria, even though my email didn't have an actual complaint, but they read to me your actual complaint. And it says that you felt uncomfortable with me. That was a complaint that you had.
Also, the other dude that was here.
All right. The conversation does continue with the woman eventually saying, there's a possible misunderstanding here. Here it is.
You guys can clear that up. You can make a call like this was not Jeffrey Jordan. He belonged here. He's not trespassing. And I think it sucks that no one did that,
Okay, so I 100% understand where you're coming from in that regard. It's just, it was no communication between you and I. This is my property, and all the responsibility falls on me, not Maria, not Mace, not Santia, their assistants. There was a misunderstanding, correct?
No,
I'm changing my verbiage.
Okay,
so there was a misunderstanding according to what you're giving me, your information, what you're telling me. But again, I understand where you're coming from, 1,000%. Maybe it was understanding, whatever. But there's so much I can do, because there's corporate that's involved, there's the regional manager, there's the district manager, and if they make a decision based on my escalation and based on what they view, there's nothing I can do. It's out of my hand. This is not the safest area, so that's why they're very
This is not the safest. Do we have a picture? Put it in full mask if we do. This is not the safest place. Ma'am, I sympathize and empathize with your statement. But the customer a paying consumer is not responsible for premises liability. It is your owner of the facility. And if the owners are not willing to provide proper locks for the doors or proper security per protocol, that doesn't then give you the right to harass or discriminate against Black men just because you assume they do not have a unit there. Now, the reason why I wanted to highlight this story is because the man who's talking, he was trespassed or banned, okay? His job works with storage facilities. And so by him being trespassed, banned, he's unable to effectively do his job. Why was he banned? Well, he happened to be standing next to a guy that had some kind of back and forth with the manager. Manager assumed it was his boyfriend. She says this in the beginning. He says, what made you think that? I don't even know the guy, never met him. Why did I get caught up in this? Can you correct the narrative for me? Is it possible to send another email like the first email you sent? On 5/24/25, according to Jeffrey, he says, quote, I received an email telling me to remove my things as they were terminating my lease. And the video is very long, and there's a back and forth about how he will not be refunded. I think they gave the guy $70 back, even though it was a month or plus rental. And it lacked humanity. Okay, it was clear a mistake was made. Restore the guy. Why not restore him? There's nothing you can do because corporate's involved. Well, the corporate's involved because, well, there's something you can do. That's the reason why corporate is involved. All right, so we're going to see what the update may be after the reporting of the story. I have withheld certain information, hoping that they do the right damn thing so this brother can work. Sharing thoughts here.
You know, what you just told is a ridiculous story.
Right.
It's just simply ridiculous. And the woman on the counter, who is quite aggressive, which is ironic, is channeling her best Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the woman who accused Emmett Till, who lied. And the reason this can't get corrected is because of this white woman privilege. Her word against an army of people of color is worth everything. And she's unwilling to just tell the truth and admit she made a mistake, okay? And everything hinges on that. Corporate is not into customer service, they're into false accusations. This is the most ignorant thing I've heard, well, today.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I was gonna, that you got it, Doc. It's just so ignorant.
And I want to say this to the manager. This would not have made an indisputable segment if you simply would have done the right thing once you admitted, yes, a misunderstanding has happened. That's it. All right, we'll bring you updates as an update comes.